Hey people, how you doing today? I honestly just finished having a big exams day, and I'm kind of tired and don't feel like doing too much right now, so I was thinking what I should do, and I decided I'm going to do something a bit different. As you can see, I have Maplestory running. Now, I guess this is kind of going to be just me talking about my opinions on the game and giving like a little bit of a retrospective from someone who's played for a while and has stopped and come back and stopped and come back and has a few things to say. A side note is that there's a Sword Art Online crossover event going on right now. I also play Mabinogi. I'm currently taking a break from that game, played it too much. And it just got a Sword Art crossover, so I guess like Nexon has the rights to use the Sword Art name, and they're just going to use it. I wouldn't be surprised if some other games got little crossovers like Dragon Nest or Vindictus or something before Nexon loses the rights to use the title. So, Maplestory, yes, it's a very old MMO now. It's been around for quite a while. It's actually the first MMO I ever played. I was back quite a while ago. I was in like 4th or 5th grade when that happened, and now I'm in college, so that has indeed been quite a while. And it has seen a lot of changes. Now there's some people on the forums and stuff who like to talk about, oh, I'm a beta player, I'm a post 4th job player, and I started around when 4th job was just added, if I recall correctly. So I have been around a while, definitely pre-pirate and everything. So I do have some different opinions about this game, and I can talk about different big stages, because I've usually come back for major updates to see what's happened, though recently I've kind of fallen off that, so let's hop into it, I guess. So I play on Broa. Been on Broa for as long as I can remember, and first thing that just hit me was that the character select screen, before the channel select screen, was really empty. I know it's kind of the schools going on right now for a lot of people. It's like, actually, school should be getting out about now, like high school, elementary school and stuff. I don't know. But, yeah, just the game it does feel a lot more empty than it used to, I'll say that much. I don't think the game's going to die, but it's definitely gotten knocked down a peg from where it used to be. So, now, as you can see here, I have quite a few character slots. All of these I've gotten for free over time, just from playing the game a really long time. I think a new account gets like 3 character slots or something, and usually when they add a new class or something, you get more slots. So, you know, if I've used the same account since Pirates came out, so I have like 24 slots or something like that. I'm not really sure exactly how many I have right now. As you can also see, they're all very much full. So, okay, let's go through some of my characters. Now, I do not even have any of my really old characters from way back in the day. What happened was I started playing back when I was in elementary school, and that was before Pirates, and I made a archer, a bowman, and I was heading up the way to bowmaster, except, you know, of course, never got anywhere near that far back then. I didn't play during the point where hitting level 30 was an achievement. I played back when you saw someone who was like 3rd job and like you knew shit was going down. So I got to level like 16 with that character. It took a long ass time. And then after that I made an assassin, and I got that character to about level 36 or so, and I felt like pretty proud of myself But around that time, I started to fall out of the game. I stopped playing it as much because I was getting into... I had moved, and was getting into, like, Xbox. That was when 360 finally started getting a few games on it that were worth anything. So the Xbox 360 is actually super old, but it had, like, nothing but Viva Pinata when it came out. So, like, Halo 3 came out, and I was in middle school, and me and a few people I knew really got into that, so I stopped playing the game for a little while. And I came back around the time that Cygnus Knights were added, so, like, here's a Thunderbreaker, so... I came back around the time when Cygnus Knights were first added, and I looked back and I still had my assassin. So I just was like, I'm gonna start over fresh, and I stripped anything useful off of him and stuck it in the bank. And I made a Nightwalker. Now, as a little bit of an aside, I know they've revamped the Cygnus Knights. They play differently now, and I think the Assassin revamp is coming, or I mean the Nightwalker revamp is coming soon. I'm not sure what I'll look at the character creator here in a minute. But yeah, so with that, I had a lot of fun back when Cygnus Knights were new. So that was post-pirate, but the pre-hero period. So I think I was like a freshman in high school when Cygnus Knights came out the summer before I was a freshman in high school. And that I got really into it, and I got to like a third job, you know, like a level 70 something Nightwalker, when Iran finally came out. And Iran didn't really bug me that much. I mean, one hero class, I mean, no one really questioned it back then. And it was just, you know, oh, something cool and different and new. And now people just complain. But, so when they came out, I mean, people used to do, like, all sorts of things to get levels that just don't exist or don't work anymore. I know CPQ 1 and 2 were really big. I remember, like, freshman year in high school, I was still working in CPQ 2, and I was like, I had like a sketchbook that I doodled in, and I had this like little plan in there for like, okay, well, if I CPQ for like this long today, like based on like how much EXP I got yesterday, or how much I think I'm gonna get today, I should gain like this many levels today. And you know, I had like planned out when I was gonna hit third job, and it was all exciting and everything. So that was, I mean, that was pretty exciting back then. And I will say, the fun you have with this game is it's really relative. Everything you remember whenever you were a little kid will seem fonder memories than whenever you're older. I mean, honestly, pre-Big Bang, Maple was pretty annoying for the most part. We had, then Evan came out, Magic Dragon user person, and that was still pretty okay. And after that, if I recall correctly, we had a fairly big break in class updates for a little while. And I believe after that is when Big Bang hit and the Resistance hit. And after Evan came out, I stopped playing again for a little while, went back to playing Xbox. And Resistance hit. And that was kind of like big and interesting, and I came back, I made a Wild Hunter. I played on a different account actually because I had forgotten my information to this one for a little while. But I still didn't really have any of these characters. So what eventually happened was I got back on this account, and I started messing with my Nightwalker again, and his stats were busted and broken, and That was back when you still needed secondary stats and all sorts of stuff, and I barely beat my way up to level 120 by the time Lionheart Castle finally came out, and I was able to go there and party my way up to 120, so that was getting close to the end of my time in high school. I think I was like probably like a sophomore or junior by then, and after that I probably had the most fun with the game when it was shortly post Big Bang, where stuff was immensely easier than pre-Big Bang, but not quite as easy as it was going to get. So you could level up pretty damn quickly, even for being relatively unfunded, which, I mean, even I have all these characters and I still consider myself fairly unfunded on this game in the grand scheme of things, because I have okay items, but I don't have super duper duper items like a couple people I used to know. And it was pretty entertaining at that time. I mean, I found Orange Mushroom's blog. I mean, anyone who keeps up with Maplestory news knows about Orange Mushroom. He blogs about KMS. And so I found out about that, and I started keeping up with the updates. So, you know, Cannoneer here, I got really excited when they were coming out. That was same time as Mercedes was coming out, and then Demon Slayer was one everyone was really hyped about. Looks like Fraps is really dumping on Maplestory, which is funny. I can run my emulators fine. I think it's a weird special effects that happen. I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, so I got really excited, really into it, and I kept playing the game a bunch. Phantom came out, and that was probably the high point of when I got into the game. Phantom came out, and I hit 120 on day one. Which, I mean, there were people in my guild who were power leveling to 200 on day one, so it was no big deal. But that was probably the high point of my time invested in the game, was when Phantom was new. But I have to say, probably the most fun I ever had was back, probably back when I was, probably pre-Big Bang, believe it or not. And that's not because the game was better, but because I felt the community was better. I ran a guild back then. It was a teeny tiny guild. I mean, I had like 40 members or something who were all relatively active, and I mean, it was good. It was fun. I liked helping out people. You know, we would go and we'd party quest together and do all sorts of stuff, and it was good fun. And that's really the issue with a lot of MMOs. The community is dying, and that's not just it for MMOs. That's happening on all over the internet. Community is dying. And I think that's kind of sad, because that's what made MMOs special, was, you know, they're massively multiplayer online games. So you can interact with all these different people. And yet people still find this need to, like, not be nice. And now I know I haven't really done anything on the game, so I guess I'll give a quick rundown of my characters, or whatever. So I have a 125 Cannoneer, have a 146 Shadower. This was my first character to ever get Empress gear. Kind of a rubbish character now, but still really excited when I got Empress gear for the first time. I have a lot of buff mules. I really do. Once they added in the whole link skills, a lot of these characters just sat at 70. Like my Mercedes here, 70 buff mule, as you can see, no equipment. Thunderbreaker. Now, after I made my Nightwalker, got him to 120, I turned the character into a Ultimate Adventurer and deleted I didn't delete my Nightwalker then, but I made a Thunderbreaker because I wanted a second Ultimate Adventurer. I was going to make a Paladin. So once I got my Thunderbreaker up to 120, because back then Thunderbreakers were the fastest to power level up out of all the Cygnus Knights. And that was again pre-Cygnus Knight revamp. I got him up to 120 and made another UA, both of which are now gone, long gone. And I deleted my Nightwalker because I was like, oh, I only need one buff. So my Nightwalker's long gone. I have a 129 Phantom. I was really hyped for Phantom, really enjoyed getting it to 120, kind of flatlined at that point. I had actually collected all of the reverse and stuff gear before they even came out. You could actually get the Kane recipe drop before the class got released. So me and my friend grinded Death Teddies or Spirit Vikings, whichever one dropped it, and got Kanes made before the class was even out. We were so prepared. Luminous 75. I think the only reason I got to 75 was because they might have been giving away those EXP potion things or whatever. I don't really know. I got it for the buffs. Kaiser 70 also. Angelic Buster 70. My hero. Okay, so I had deleted my Paladin and I wanted to make a warrior for some reason. I don't know why. I usually don't play warriors in games, so I'm moving towards that as time seems to be moving on. And I got this character up to 147. I have a Halicium cape and boots on, and I have a cool shield, the Crosshielder, if I remember correctly, from Crimsonwood Keep PQ. And interestingly enough, I had this character wearing this equipment down here. Now if you're familiar with Maplestory, you're like, what the fuck is going on down there? It's a clusterfuck of the wrong Empress pieces. That's because this is it's Lionheart armor, but I anviled it to look like other pieces that I thought looked nicer. Right now, it looks like she's wearing the thief stuff. That's actually just a bath towel that I hammered because I got a free hammer or something. And I thought it'd be funny to have a bath towel that looked like Empress gear. So I hammered my actual Raven Horn onto a bathrobe, and I thought that was funny. Now, when the Sengoku classes came out, I was actually pretty hyped because I have a JMS account and it actually runs fine. And I was poking around in JMS shortly after these guys got closed because I wanted to see what all the hullabaloo was about. And so when they got over here, I made the Kana, got her to 100 because her buff requires you to get them to 100. And I made a Hayato. Now he's got kind of rubbish equipment on because he had this equipment at one point in time. It kind of went hop, hop. It hopped between characters. And he had that at one point in time. I also had a freaking 140 katana, but I blew it up, being stupid. Remember, kids, don't use scrolls that have % boom. So I had to go back to using a reverse. But I got him to 140, and I really liked Hayato. He had mobility issues, but I thought he was a pretty cool class. Mihail, underimpressed, honestly. As you can see the name Kirito. I created this character back, if you've noticed with any of my character names actually, it uses cat or cats on the end, usually cats. And all of the names that I pick for my characters are from the animes I was watching at the time of me creating these characters. So this character, I was watching Inu X Boku back my senior year in high school, and that's where that name came from. Rika, I was watching, was it Chium Dem, blah blah blah, it started with a CH, Chium, I don't know, I think this is the second season now. There's a girl, she got an eye patch, it's a romantic comedy, it's an okay show, go watch it. This, I made him when Sword Art, the first season, second season was, no one knew that was even happening. I made this back when season 1 was just fan translated, And I mean, Sword Art was really popular even when it first came out. Now it's just gone overkill because I'd like to see it as a dub. I don't watch dubs, I only watch subs. My Demon Slayer here, I had a different Demon Slayer back when they were new. I deleted it and then remade this one back when Kotora-san was coming out. So again, I got to 105. I was going to get it to 120 to get the buff. That was better because by the time I made this, the newer buffs had come out. I gave up halfway through. Now, Xenon. This was a time when I was really falling out of Maple. So, Xenon and Demon Avenger came out, and I was really not interested in Maplestory at that point, and I was like, oh, I'll make the characters. So I have a Xenon, but it's only level 41, as you can see. I never went anywhere with this character. Then I came back from kind of my not playing slump, and I made a Blade Master. And, I mean, he was pretty fun to play. I had made a dual blade way back when. Because way back when, they gave you like a free level 36 dual blade when they first came out. And I thought they would be cool, but the only way to get books for them was to buy it from the cash shop, because you couldn't get the books any other way. So I made this dual blade once they changed it so that you could buy the mastery books just with mesos. And, I mean, it's a pretty entertaining class now that you can do that. Zero. Now I know lots of people started to play Maplestory again because of Zero, and a lot of people think Zero is dumb, a lot of people think Zero is really cool. My opinion of Zero is I actually kind of like the class. That's why they currently have some of my better equipment. Now, you can see, if you're not familiar with the way Zero works, you have to have a level 100 on your account to even make a Zero when they're open, because you know classes close. But when they're open, you have to have a level 100, which obviously I have several 140s. And then they start at level 100. They go through their own little storyline, their own special area, and it boosts them up to level 180. And as you can see, thus my character stands. This is my highest level character, though I do not consider it my highest level character because it doesn't count. I mean, everyone's got a level 180. The Zero if they did all the Zero stuff, so it doesn't really count. But I liked them. I felt they played interestingly, being able to tag out between the two characters. You know, I thought it was a pretty neat little concept. Fairly recently, actually, I think it might have been 2014 that I made this character. I fell out after they came out, and I stopped playing for a while. And actually, I don't even think I have a Demon Avenger anymore. I may have deleted him. He wasn't very high level anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I made this Bowmaster, and he's got a full set of Falcon gear, and he's, you know, pretty cool. I have a friend who's super rich and powerful and used to at least. I don't know if he still plays. Would always have Empress stuff, so I got stuff off of him for a pretty good deal. And I joined a guild while I was playing this character, and my guild leader wasn't happy because he was a Sin, and I totally outdamaged him on my Bowmaster simply because I had more funding than he did. And I'll get into that with like issues I have with this game. So here we go with my Night Lord. You know, after I was in this guild, I was like, hey, I feel like making a Sin. I haven't had one in years. So I made a Night Lord, got to 4th job, and I actually have a full Orchid set on the character. You see the boots there are the Orchid boots. It's all perma nonsense that you got from events. And I played that for a while. I fell out of Maple again. This was really when my Maplestory started tailing off. I got really hyped for Beast Tamer, actually. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like Beast Tamer. I'm gonna play Cat Beast Tamer, and it's gonna be so cool. And Beast Tamer came out, and I got to 70, got the buff, stopped playing. And then I stopped for a while. until Shade came out, which I don't know. I don't like the name Shade. I know it doesn't show it here because I haven't even done my beginner stuff. I made the character and like logged in. By the way, all these character names are based off of a visual novel that I really like. Anyways, so Shade, that was a dumb name. I understand they had to change it away from Unwo because people would have issues pronouncing that, but Shade, really, that's dumb. So the last character I actually made since I moved to college here, and that would be a new Jet. I had a Jet when they first came out, and you know, everyone was like, oh, they're copy-paste of blah blah blah, because it was before the Adventure update. And yeah, they kind of were. And they've changed them. That's what made me want to make a new one. So they changed Jet and they made it different. So I played it for a little while just to see how the game felt, and as you can see, only level 28. Obviously I didn't play it that long. So I think I'm just going to divide this up into a bunch of videos because it's just going to be me talking. So I'm going to stop this video here and just start up the next one here, and I'll go into character creation. Maybe I'll delete one of my characters here and play a little bit or something. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, see you guys in the next video.